Hey everybody, welcome to the That's What He Said podcast. We're very excited to be here. I've got the crew with me. What's up, crew?
Yeah. We in the house. We start to things start to happen real fast. As we've seen the last few weeks, it's been like nonstop.
Blessing after blessing.
Nonstop.
Man, listen.
Every time I turn around.
I want to mention our topic, our process.
Mm-hmm.
I want to just mention our process of posture, which was to see, act, and become.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and for the past 2 weeks,
Yeah.
we've been seeing things.
Yep.
We've been acting
Acting
on
on it.
things.
I'm becoming.
We saw the podcast.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We acted on it and executed it by going into, and we all came into agreement. You know, we all came into an alignment to say, what does this?
Yeah.
You put in your suggestion. Like you said, no little eyes. You know what I'm saying? So we're all on the same mind frame about moving this thing in relation and then becoming.
Yeah.
Now we're a podcast.
Yes.
And who knows what this, I told Leah today, I said, I can see Levi, I can see the boys having a segment on here.
Yeah.
I can see a
Interviews.
gaming segment. I can see so many different things happening, and I'm just excited. I just wanted to mention that. Like, I love that process.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned it because if it starts with C, right? And I know we all were like, as we did the panel and we're like, oh, we're gonna do a panel, blah, blah, blah. I know we all were kind of like, oh, we should kind of keep this going, but we didn't really know
Not
where it was gonna go, right?
No.
But then
No.
Pastor Tyan had the whole prophecy,
Yes.
which is like a
Right.
spiritual seeing first. So it was like that first part of posture,
Right.
the vision, right? She saw it. It was given to her by God through her. She spoke it. She saw it, and then through us, it was our responsibility from then to be able to see it
Boom.
for ourselves.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
people can see it for you all the time. I
Talk
see
about
stuff
it.
for other people
Talk
all
about
the
it.
time.
Talk about it.
You ever
Talk
know
about it.
somebody and you like, dude, you would be dope
Yes.
if you would just be consistent, or you would be dope if you was just confident, or it would be like, you ever pour into somebody
Yeah.
and you just can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she just could see it with us, and then it just took us to be like, you know what, guys, we could see
We
it
see it
too.
too. We
What's the
confirmed
name?
it.
We confirmed it.
We confirmed it.
Acted, and now it's becoming of us,
Yeah.
right? And
It all starts in our mind.
it does,
It
right?
does.
Posture starts in the mind.
Yeah,
It's
it
about
does.
an attitude, right?
Mm-hmm. And the crazy part is, it's not as difficult as you think. We make it difficult. We make things so difficult.
Would you say? Let me ask you this: would you say that a lot of the difficulty deals with? I want to say more so fear, but I think sometimes would you agree that the difficulty is stemmed from just lack of faith? You know,
Yeah.
lack of faith. I mean,
I know faith is a big difficulty with us as believers is we're so accustomed to physically seeing it, and in faith, there's not a physicality for us to grab and see.
it's not a physical posture to
Yeah,
model
right.
after faith unless it's
It's-
through people.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the battle between the ears,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
and
Wow.
to say like no, I can actually see us doing this, and I know many times people are like, well, no, what if this? Like we psych ourselves out.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we have to like remain focused, to understand this is what we're going to do, because God has provision.
Yeah.
He has provision. We're not waiting on him. He waiting on us. It's flat out. Like he has already stated, he has given us, everything we can imagine, and he's just waiting on us to be like, all right, let's do it. There were millions of businesses started during the pandemic.
Millions, and
Millions.
billions.
So many.
People
I
who
wrote
had
my first EP during the COVID.
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
That in itself was just a creative thing. But I want to mention something here off of what you were saying. I put something in my notes from the panel discussion. It says that the things you want the most are behind what you resist the most.
wait, say it again.
What?
Wait, rewind.
The things you want the most are behind what you resist the most.
Wow.
So a lot of times,
That is-
if we want if we want change in our families, a lot of times God will give you the vision, or He will give you the blueprint on how to do it, and then you resist it. I can guarantee y'all that none of us really, think about it. None of us really wanted to. We good?
Yeah, we're good audio wise, video wise. We lost down somehow.
Oh, it's all right. We good.
Is it dead?
No, it's on. Okay. We good.
Okay.
We rolling.
Nobody really wanted to. It wasn't in our mind. It wasn't in our dream or our to start a podcast. This was something that we had to come into agreement with. You know what I'm saying? To where, okay, enough of my spirit is in agreement with that prophecy. And we talk about awareness, the spiritual, and then the agreement, the harmony, right?
Man.
The unity, the togetherness, the humility that's required behind that agreement before we can move into alignment. It's really important because it's a huge milestone to how we get from place to place. Because you can have an idea, okay, this department, we need this. All right. We're aware, right? So the awareness is there. We are aware of what this department needs. And then when we're in agreement, we say, okay, we want this, we need this, this is considered priority, this is not considered priority. Now we're in agreement, and then something takes place. Now we're becoming, you know what I'm saying? And it's a whole thing that happens. But that was one of the things that I had put. I guess my question to you all is, what is one of y'all favorite moments from the panel? What was one of y'all favorite moments or favorite quotes from the panel?
Definitely Leah with spiritual consistency.
Oh, yeah.
Posture deserves consistency.
Yeah.
You deserve
that's
consistency. That part was just
Yeah.
mic drop, walk out the door. Yeah. Being
That was
consistent.
I know mine was the your attitude. Will definitely
Kicking it off.
Well, right.
Just
Will help with your altitude.
Yeah.
Because I know me, and to be perfectly honest, they'll back it. Our pastors have been like, "Oh, we really want you to preach." I've been here 10 years, and I've been like, "Nah, G, no, you good? No, you all right? You all right? Even in extreme circumstances." Pastor Tiny came home one day. Her boss had died. They grieving. And I'm like, cool. I start off, I went to word for 30 minutes. As soon as they was together, all right, here you go. I mean, just being honest. And like you said, resisting, what's being asked, not knowing. To be honest, like when I hear, you go preach the word of God, I think of 1970s church.
Right.
I do not like 1970s church. So that's the only thing that was being shown. Not understanding that the word is fluid. And as you're speaking it, it doesn't have to be in a pulpit in an old Baptist church. It can be in a podcast.
Yeah.
It can be streaming online.
Yeah.
It can be at your job. And so it was like, wait, maybe I should, let me take my blinders off on what I think it is.
The fear.
And versus what it could be.
That's back to the posture thing.
Yes.
Leah, she has an idea of what's supposed to happen in chiropractor because of the movies and the stuff that she sees. I don't want that.
Right.
Because this is how I visualize. So
right.
That's why the vision is so important. Because you have to change your perspective to be in a line to receive what you need.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing to get your perspective lined up.
It is.
I already mentioned what my favorite was. The spiritual scoliosis. That whole
It was fun.
you listen, man. I don't know what. Even when you were talking about it, when we FaceTimed each other, and he mentioned that, and I thought he was gonna have the whole skeleton up there.
Yeah,
I was a little disappointed.
This is the prop man.
I couldn't get the skeleton, and it's crazy. I was driving out our complex, and this lady had a skeleton on her porch. And I was like,
So
can I borrow this? And I was like, nah, I'm gonna just go ahead. It's still on her porch now. And I was like, I love props because, like you said, the first thing is seen. Like we hear stuff all the time,
right?
But until we see it, like if I'm like, I'm gonna give you $10, you like, all right. Now if I'm handing you $10, now you like, oh, I believe he's finna give
So
it to
your
me.
posture change.
Yes.
Your attitude change.
The trust.
Your
You said you
belief
believe.
Right.
There you
Right.
go.
And so part of this is about our trust. Like, do
Yes.
we trust
Right.
that, with even ministry, accepting the call. Whew. But okay, we some young ministers here.
We
But
was
that
together.
was
We was together.
we had to come in alignment with let's line up here. But to trust that God is what He deposited in you, all of us,
Yeah.
is He
Yes.
gave it to us,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And that He has made us. He has approved us.
Woo, woo,
He's
say that
appro-
again.
he has approved
Woo,
us.
He has approved us.
Wait,
Yeah.
the people didn't approve?
Woo,
He has
Lord.
approved us.
God has approved us.
He's
Oh,
approved me.
And that's the freedom, the permission, the coercion.
That's what I was gonna say was my favorite part when
The
he
freedom.
talked about freedom, because I don't think people really understand, like, there's a freedom that takes place when you're in alignment. And when Anthony was talking about that, I was like, oh my God, yeah, there is a freedom.
Yeah.
flowing.
It is
Yes.
freedom, because there's just things you can't do anymore, and there's things that you can't reach now. And so, like, I know, like, people feel limited most of the times when, they say, oh, I got to get in alignment. I mean, I'm going to have to be like this and that. No, it's almost like even more doors are open.
Yeah.
Because you just decided to make the change.
Ooh.
And so I was just so happy.
You know what that reminds me of? I think everybody here know who Super Mario is, right?
Mario!
So, if you've ever played Super Mario, you understand that when you play through the game, there are certain parts of the map that you have to be a certain size to get to.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so, if you haven't gotten, your mushroom to get big enough, you can't reach the door. And so, many times with our alignment, we've shrunk ourselves
Oh, my
and we can't reach the handle. Man,
to open the door.
we done shut ourselves down. We like, why won't this happen? And we got the little, the nub going on, and God's like, straighten yourself out, stretch.
Reach.
Stretch.
There it is.
Draw nigh to me, and I'll draw nigh to you.
Oh,
We finna be here all night.
Well,
Yeah, it's going to be a little while.
yeah.
okay.
I just wanted to shout out our sponsors for today's episode. This episode is sponsored by Hand of God Ministries.
Yeah.
Real relevant.
They
Relational.
are real relevant and relational. Hand of God Ministries was established February 6, 2011, and the church is booming. Bishop Lee V. Bailey II and Dr. Tanya Bailey are literally game changers. They're, what do they call themselves? Elevator operators, because they want to help you get to the next level. And so what I think I appreciate about talking about freedom is just the fact that we go to a church that just is conducive of that type of environment. They challenge you to be yourself, and they believe in you really, and you can just have personal relationships with these people. So I just want to say, if anybody is looking for a church home or just people to be a part of, or just a family, just friends, just a safe environment, come to 3408 Miller Road on Wednesdays from 6 to 7 for Hour in the Word, where we do Hour in the Word for 1 hour. And on Sundays, starting at noon, you can sleep in but show up.
I like that.
And we'll be taking a break.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I just was going to mention Tuesday.
So on our next part of posture, we've already talked about C. Now we're on the act portion.
Right.
So as a big gamer and 90s enthusiast,
Are you a big gamer, Dom? I couldn't tell.
I
The
am.
90s.
I am.
See.
My name online is the Prophet 7. We're
We
out
are in the
here.
presence
We
of
are out
greatness.
here going wow.
Yes.
And so one of my favorite characters is Super Mario. And so one thing about Mario is, depending on what level he's at, there's certain spots that he can't get to without acquiring an item, which changes his posture. So of course he starts off real small, little 4'11". He'll eat a mushroom. Now he's 6'5".
Yep.
The thing I love about it is, in certain levels, he can't get to a certain spot without adjusting his posture.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really something.
Like
You
he
said
can't
levels. Wow.
get there. Like each level is different.
Right.
Each space is different. You
Yeah.
got your water level, your desert. You got the
Fire.
castle, the boss levels.
Dragons.
Right. Each one requires something different. And I know for all my gamers out there, no level is the same.
At all.
None.
Yeah.
And so, in order to beat said levels, you gotta adjust your posture. You gotta stretch to get to another spot. You gotta figure some things out. It's a puzzle. You gotta figure it out. You get there, but the reward at the end,
Yeah, man.
Oh.
For adjusting is always like great. So, acting is huge. But yeah, I love Mario.
That's coming from straight Book of Mario.
Chapter 6.
I mean, that's the equipping though for every level.
Right, it is.
Damn.
Yeah, and Mario's
powerful.
coming out, right?
Yes, it is.
The Mario movie's coming out actually, guys, this year, and
It's like in a couple weeks. Like
Yep.
next
yeah,
week.
yeah.
Yes.
I've got
April.
high hopes for that movie.
I'm
Yes.
excited about that.
I think I've had high hopes for pretty much every movie that was coming out this year because I don't know why they said 2023 was just gonna be this banger of a year of movies, just like boom,
Yes.
boom. I mean, Wakanda Forever. I mean,
Yeah.
everything was just like, oh my god, movies. And then I saw Ant-Man, and I was solely disappointed. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, can we talk about it for real?
No, yeah, Ant-Man was
I went to sleep.
Anthony went to
Oh,
sleep,
wow.
and he
Yeah.
doesn't go to sleep in movies.
It was slow.
yeah, it was a disappointment. Even the director said he didn't realize Ant-Man was supposed to fit with the rest of the Marvel. And I'm like,
Right, because it did nothing
I
with
was
the rest
like,
of the Marvel movies.
me personally, of all the Marvel characters, Ant-Man is like at the bottom of the list anyway.
That's how the
Right.
kids.
That is very
shout out
true.
to Paul Rudd. He's a great actor, but Ant-Man to me, he's like at the bottom.
Yeah.
At the bottom. So
Yeah.
to introduce Kang the Conqueror, which is like
With
top tier villain
come on
of
now,
all Marvel, it's
one
like
of us.
you wasted my man's intro on
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It still wasn't enough ants in that movie for me.
Oh my God, no, you didn't.
Tell you, I
Ants.
was lost. I was confused.
I fought hard too to try to make people like it. It was just like I just was like, no, like it didn't make sense to me because they're not like together.
No.
They're just like doing their own thing.
They're not aligned.
No,
They're not.
No,
Their
no.
posture is out of alignment.
They're out of alignment.
The Marvel directors
It's a
are their
Marvel
posture is
movie,
wrong.
I feel like they're
man.
just trying to be too comical as of late.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even with the Love and Thunder, which was
Oh, that was
it's
horrible.
just like, where is all this
Yeah.
It's
interest
comedic.
for comedy coming from?
Too much
It's like
satire.
Right.
Thor
Too
got
much
a
satire.
belly. Ant-Man is, it's like,
He a
what are we
celebrity.
doing?
Silly.
I was like,
But see, we see their
oh,
posture.
yep,
We
There you
see
go.
these decisions.
Right.
You know,
Go.
that's unfortunate. I didn't like it. It was
Yeah, it's unfortunate to me. I mean,
Yeah.
Marvel, I do
Very
like Marvel
unfortunate.
movies, but I am a diehard DC fan.
Oh,
Ooh. And just the whole Batman really
We
coming
killing it right
and
now.
being Batman, being the detective we know he is, actually unaliving people, like this is the Batman I needed.
Okay.
But yeah, if you really want to see a real superhero movie, go watch that
if we-
Batman that just
Yeah,
came
we
out.
finna talk about DC heroes then. So I am like on the fence of not seeing the new Flash movie.
Right.
Wait, when it come out?
Right.
So because
Right.
the main actor Ezra Miller,
Mm-hmm.
he was charged with some crimes,
Oh.
kidnapping, breaking and entering.
He fast. He can get away with it.
Wait.
No, he got
He
he,
thinks
no he
he's the
think he
Flash.
got caught. He thinks, but he got caught, and I'm like,
Lord Jesus,
you know,
help us.
as much canceling as that's been done over the years, you would have thought, you know, well, we don't need him as the face of this franchise, and yet he's still gonna make his $360 million. And I'm like, what does that say to people? Does that tell them that they can go do things and still get paid?
Mm-hmm.
Like it makes you question like, what's the
Morals.
motive?
Yeah.
Morals.
Yeah.
That makes me think about the whole Jonathan Major situation, though, because allegedly he, you know, got in an altercation with his said girlfriend at the time, and there was some kind of physical, whatever, interaction happening and some kind of assault, which was reported allegedly, but everybody reported it that he did. And even I
Right.
think like the U.S. service had to like start retracting his commercials and
Yeah.
film previews because they're not supposed to like endorse any predators or any type of
Right.
assault. Like, so literally like all the contracts or all the previews and commercials were literally like put on hold so they could figure out if he did it or not. And it was like, dang, like, and this was allegedly.
Right. There was no said video evidence. But again, that goes also back to the posture that you have.
Yeah.
Like, we live in a culture now that you are guilty first.
Yep.
Until you prove yourself innocent. It should be you're innocent first, but we know that's not the case. And so when it comes to how you keep yourself in certain situations, the effects can be detrimental. Yeah. Like you said, they pulling commercials.
Yeah.
That's his livelihood. He just did two
films,
movies.
back to back.
Creed was great.
He thought he was still in Creed.
No, he didn't think he was still in
I'm
Creed.
gonna punch you in the mouth.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So do y'all think he did it or not?
I think that this coming out during Creed 3 is just kind of convenient. One. And then two, like, I think no one's going to be able to know but them two. And
Right.
there's always somebody that's not going to put out the story that
Right.
really happened, right?
Like,
but I think that being a black man and successful right now,
let's talk the truth.
that, you know, like Don was just saying, like, you're going to be guilty even before you're even proven innocent. Black men are going to be, like, double guilty. Like, I know people that were like, I'm not watching Creed no more. He's not going to be a part of this.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, this ended it for me. Like, even allegedly, even if he comes out that none of the stuff even happened, the opportunity or whatever, even the situation has already turned people's minds. And unfortunately, that's how a lot of black men are treated today.
You know what? That says a lot. Johnny Depp is not a black male. But what I will say is his posture through that trial,
man.
Yeah, for real.
I know how I get. You're not finna spew and mess up my name. You done ruin contracts. You done mess with my livelihood, and I have to sit there and face you calmly. Oh no, we got some words, some very colorful language is finna be exchanged.
That's what Sam was just talking about, though. How do you keep your posture?
Come on.
When people have done you wrong.
And he was in court. He has lost Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yep, it's no longer part of the franchise.
$1 billion contract. $1 billion? $1 billion. I've only counted $1 million in my lifetime from working at the bank. It took me 3 hours to count it. $1 billion of my money?
That's gonna take some days.
Because you upset. You like, well, he did this to me. He hurt me, and immediately you knew the words to say to get me canceled, lose all my contracts. Now I'm here in court trying to get it back. You know you did me wrong. I know you did me wrong.
Right.
But I gotta wait for somebody else to say it, and I gotta keep a composure.
Yeah.
Because if I wild out, then that's gonna prove your words, your false words are true. I can't imagine him. He's sitting there. Cause I've been up the wall. Y'all would have thought in the extras. I've been crawling all over the place.
My posture would not be something you model after.
Right.
It would have been some furniture moving.
And they live on TikTok with it.
Man, it was on CNN. It was everywhere. And you have to sit there, calm, cool, and collected. Folks dogging you out, telling you how much of a terrible person you are, and you know in your mind, I have not done this.
Objection, hearsay.
That's why I don't understand. I don't understand Jesus in that aspect. You're not stabbing me on no wooden tree.
No.
I'm coming down. It's time to scrap. Come on.
He didn't say
Michael, Gabriel.
He didn't say one word. That's what I was. He didn't say no words.
He didn't say anything.
He just
took it.
Just took it. No words. Nothing.
It's powerful.
Just okay.
But
No comeback. No nothing.
A part of that's because he already knew the end result.
That is true.
One more time.
He already like. There's nothing you can do, say. There's nothing you can prove. I don't care who you know. I don't care what your weapon is made of. I don't care what you think you got to do right now. The end is already. His posture. See, his posture on the cross is a result of victory. Because when you know you see your attitude,
there you go,
and your belief is totally different when you know the end.
Woo!
It's totally different. If I know all the answers.
Thanks for listening. Are you looking for a fun and engaging podcast to listen to? Look no further than That's What He Said podcast. Join our Facebook group to get in on the action as we discuss the latest messages from Hand of God Ministries and talk about all things related to the show. We love hearing from our fans, so be sure to share your thoughts, feelings with us, and help get some great conversations going. Do you want to get more involved? Follow your favorite hosts on social media And learn how to sponsor our next event by emailing hogumpodcast@gmail.com. And if you're feeling really generous, consider donating to our podcast equipment fund. Every little bit helps to continue to provide us with the best listening experience for you. Just click on our links that we have below, and we'll see you Sundays at noon, 3408 on Miller Road.